Hi folks, so today I'm going to be showing you how I made this rock debris texture. These are actually little clusters that you can apply individually, so this texture is a little bit weird as I wouldn't typically do it in this way. It's just proof of concept. I showed these in my first texture smash video. If you've not seen that yet, go check that out because it shows these in a much better light. But I'm just going to quickly go through how I created these. Hope you enjoy. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a wine bottle cork and we're simply going to grate that up. If you've got a grater with all different sizes on it, then obviously, pick whichever one's suitable to you or create a variety. I tend to find that if you create scatter like what we're doing here, trying to include a mixture of sizes is more realistic than just one. You tend to find in nature with things like these, there's all different size pieces in such textures. Once you've grated that up, get it into a box and mix it up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just find a piece of plastic packaging, maybe a bit of recycling. I'm using a Pringles tube lid. And we're going to get some PVA glue and just put some spots all over it. Make sure there's a good distance between, just enough so that when the texture is drying, the glue doesn't spread out and kind of fuse these clusters together. A couple of centimeters is more than fine. Once you've applied that glue, get the cork scatter that you've just made and simply scatter it onto the top. Really overdo it so that we can make sure we get really good coverage. So just douse it all on. Don't worry about anything, getting messy or what have you. Just make sure you've got a clear surface. And then once you've got it covered, just give it a gentle pat down with your finger so that the glue's coming up through the cork and everything's sealed nicely. Because the idea, as we're going to see just now, is that once this is dried, we can peel off those clusters. So apply the cork, push it down with a finger. After a while, you can tip the lid upside down or the plastic packaging upside down and just get rid of the debris. Use that again later. And once it's fully dried, peel them off and they're ready to be applied. To apply them to the surface that you're modeling, in this instance, I'm just applying them to a flat base so that you can see how they work. A bit of super glue, I think, is what works best here because it's going to help the clusters mold to whatever surface you've got. Once you've applied the clusters, I'm going to just give it a quick dry brush so that you can see the texture a bit better on camera. But just go in with your normal painting technique. Again, with these small texture demos, I'm not going to do anything too flash. We're just going to do a base coat of grey. And then I'm going to follow that up with a few washes of various different colours you'd expect in weathering. And then a couple of layers of dry brushing just to bring out those highlights. And at the very end, I've actually just gone in with a paintbrush with some pure white just to add some very extreme highlights onto the top. So there we go, ultra easy tutorial there. These clusters are great for adding just an extra bit of detail you normally don't think about. If you think of, wargaming, ruined city streets, just little clusters like this are a really great way to just build up that texture. If you're doing model railways or dioramas or anything that's more realistic, these are great for like riverbanks or just for, rocky fields, cliffs, kind of moorland highland terrain. They've just got a really good wide application. So there we are. There's how to create some rock debris clusters using a wine cork. Hope you've enjoyed.